Hi, my name is Dylan Mathis. This is my final for the year in COM 231, the Persuasive Speech on Nature and Relaxation. Humor me for just a moment as I ask this, but how often do you interact with nature? You should genuinely think about it for a second. If you do, are those voyages into the woods for any extended period of time or only for a few minutes at best? Is it perhaps possible that your best glimpse at trees during the day is through your car's windows as you're driving along? No matter what your answer may be, I believe most people can agree that any amount of time spent alongside your fellow flora and fauna is wildly beneficial for both your overall happiness and health. However, I'm sure there are many more people, myself included, who tend to outright forget these benefits and neglect nature and themselves as a result. Our homebody natures may have simply intensified due to COVID and the shutdown that surrounded it, but was that really an excuse to stop enjoying the outside world even if nothing actually restricted us from going out there? No, unfortunately that excuse didn't quite cut it, huh? Despite this lethargy, though, I seek to reinvigorate both myself and you, the audience, to consider the benefits being in nature presents to us as human beings, as we used to live fully alongside it after all. Be it mental or physical, and why we should opt for more days outside than in. In 1984, biologist E.O. Wilson proposed the biophilia hypothesis, arguing that humans have a primal bond with the plant and animal kingdoms because of our shared evolutionary development. This quote, which comes from an article in the Journal for Leisure Research and was written by Jane Hurley and Gordon J. Walker, sums up my first point pretty well. That we, as humans, have a core necessity to be outside, even if only for a few minutes out of the day. Our bodies are naturally tuned to this routine exposure, as evidenced by the fact that we get most of our very necessitative and essential vitamins from the sun, such as vitamin D. Another quote I found, which was written by Cicely Jane Mahler, echoes this. The theory of biophilia argues that owing to our evolutionary history, where humans lived entirely in and were dependent on nature, people today still have an innate affinity for nature that is beneficial for both health and well-being. The simple point to be made here is despite our ever-changing modern world, we are most comfortable in this environment. We sincerely need this regular resync in our lives. Despite this primal link between us and nature, though, what other specific benefits can it offer us as we go about our foray into the foliage? Now, as I stated previously, the advantages of being within nature are numerous, with a clear mention being the vitamin D from being outdoors. Along with this, strolls through the forest can reward you with a more balanced immune system, a renewed vigor for exercise, and even better sleep. You might know the feeling all too well of maybe going to an amusement park where you walk around the whole day, and when you finally get home, you're just so very tired and you just have to make it to your bed right away and you just drop. You're done. It can feel exhausting, but if done in moderation, that sort of exercise can be precisely the extra help needed for a good night's rest, right? Well, coincidentally, that sort of exercise is exactly what nature offers, be it at a park or even the neighborhood woods. These mentioned benefits are exactly what prompted Danielle F. Shanahan and her colleagues to research exactly what number of urban parks were needed for the proper well-being of those that lived in cities. This statement for said research was in an article for Scientific Report, which is a blog for nature.com, and says the following. There is a growing recognition of the crucial role of urban green spaces in addressing this public health challenge, with over 40 years of research showing that experiences of nature are linked to a remarkable breadth of positive health outcomes. This includes improved physical health, with examples including reduced blood pressure and allergies, lower mortality from cardiovascular disease, and improved self-perceived general health, improved mental well-being, examples including reduced stress and improved restoration, and greater social well-being and promotion of positive health behaviors. With this much focus placed on such a seemingly insignificant part of our daily lives, shouldn't we begin to really consider how much these little splashes of green truly brighten up and help our day to day? Even if the benefit may seem minimal, it can't be understated how important it is for us just to be among the trees. However, physical benefits aside, what can be said of the particular mental aid nature provides? Now, in a study conducted by Peter Warburg, Eric Skarbek, Patrick Gran, and others for the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, the researchers sought to determine if there was a noticeable difference in psychological well-being in subjects who lived in more nature-filled spaces than those that lived elsewhere. The findings were as follows. We did not find any significant effect on mental health by moving to an area with an increased number of nature qualities in the neighborhood. However, we found a significant relationship between gained access to the nature quality, meaning just the presence of nature is enough. This runs in a similar vein to the previous study I highlighted that dealt with urban green areas, but instead strictly with mental health. As you can see though, these researchers concluded that the amount of these spaces, or the abundance of nature in general, wasn't an issue, but simply having open access to said nature, as I said. Personally, I can fully agree with this. The woods are my happy place, but I don't need much to feel secluded from the worries of the world. Just a few trees and grass around and I'm good. You can likely imagine where I'm going with this, but the woods are in fact a very good form of stress relief. Nature is distilled zen, a comfort for when the world is stressful, and a calming surrounding for meditation. I can vouch that I have utilized it for thought over the last few semesters of college, especially when things got especially busy. It can be a gentle reminder that things are going to be all right no matter what, or it can leave enough room for thought so that you can work through the problems in your head. It was truly the serotonin boost that I needed throughout the week, and it could likely serve the same for you. If I haven't made it obvious enough, I'm a thorough believer in the fact that nature can truly help you shine your brightest in life, even if you only give it a few minutes out of your day. Such a task is a small ask compared to the chaos that has happened over the last year, but nevertheless, we still tend to neglect it. The health benefits are significant and plentiful, be it the vitamins we need to survive or the free exercise the activity presents. So too, the mental, as the ability to think over life hurdles amongst the trees, is a necessity I likely won't ever stop using. The overall feeling of relaxation and oneness with the forest could be attributed to our shared roots together with the earth before now, but either way, the calm experienced in nature cannot be understated. To close, I tried to pick a quote I felt best fit my points, and thus, here's a quote from the same writers as before, Jane Hurley and Gordon J. Walker, wherein they stated the following. The evidence for well-being, a plethora of positive psychological effects and physiological benefits stemming from nature-relatedness, is compelling. Therefore, I challenge you. The next time you find yourself wanting to feel better about life, take charge, go out into the woods, and better your life. You may just be better for it. Thank you. That's all I had.